Sun Tzu once wrote, "Tactics without strategy is a noise before defeat." I first encountered those words in history class. Those words stay with me, not as a lesson about armies, but as a question. How often do we charge forward full of energy and ideas without really understanding the path we are on? When we chase grades without a goal, scroll endlessly without purpose, or throw ourselves with only inspiration as a guide, aren't we producing the same chaos as we described? A surge of energy, a flash of brilliance, and then silence. And in that sudden quiet, we confront a question we often ignore. How do we turn energy into direction? A year ago, I launched an online project called Unity Language Academy. The idea was simple: connecting age volunteers with children from low-income families in Ukraine who wanted to learn foreign languages. I was 14, motivated, determined, and ready to work. And I did work. I was everywhere at the same time. Outreach, schedules, materials, messaging, planning lessons. It felt like there were a million tasks and no clear order. I kept jumping from one thing to another because I didn't really know what should come first. So when the launch day finally arrived, only 4 people signed up. Those 4 mattered to me, truly. Their interest meant the world. But what broke me wasn't the number. It was realizing that the reality didn't match the vision I had worked so intensely toward. It felt like everything I had been holding together in both my hands suddenly just slipped through my fingers. My effort was real. My intention was real. But the structure behind it wasn't strong enough to carry the weight of my goal. I remember sitting at my desk, staring at the screen, feeling that heavy pose inside my chest, and asking myself, how is this possible? I worked so much, I tried so hard, and that moment changed me. It taught me that effort alone wasn't the enemy or the answer. Sometimes we pour our whole heart into something, but without clarity, without a sense of direction, all that effort spreads thin instead of building momentum. Failure doesn't always mean the dream is wrong. Sometimes it simply means that the path was too tangled for the dream to stand. According to research by psychologist Peter Gollwitzer, people who create clear if-then plans, specific when, where, and how steps, are dramatically more likely to reach their goals. In some studies, up to 91% of participants who used these plans and created them successfully followed through. And yet, nearly half of us never create those plans. Why? Because the problem isn't that we lack motivation. The problem is that we misunderstand it. Our brains are wired for excitement, not consistency. You know that feeling when you start something new, a project, a class, an initiative, and suddenly you feel unstoppable. That rush is a dopamine. I felt it myself when I built the Unity Language Academy. I was energized and convinced that passion alone would carry me to the finish line. But as soon as progress slowed, that dopamine faded, and so did my energy. Have you ever felt that moment when the excitement disappears and you begin to wonder, maybe I'm just not good enough to keep this going? Psychologists call this motivation illusion, the belief that feeling inspired equals being ready. But when that feeling disappears, we mistake normal fatigue for failure. And then comes the illusion of control. We tell ourselves, if I'm passionate, I'll stay committed. I don't need a plan. I told myself that with Unity Language Academy. Maybe you've told yourself the same with your own projects. And on top of that, we live in a society that romanticizes chaotic success. The myth that people just believed in their dreams and everything magically worked out. But no one talks about the thousands who burned out along the way. No one talks about how passion without organization often becomes an exhaustion. So why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep convince ourselves that passion alone would carry us to success? Maybe it's because planning feels tedious, even interminable. Dreaming, on the other hand, dreaming is beautiful. It's limitless. It's safe. Think about it. How many times have you promised yourself you would start next week? How many times have you said, this time I'll finally do it, and then didn't? What if the difference between giving up and moving forward isn't luck or talent or some secret spark you don't have? What if the difference is much simpler? Structure. Let's imagine you have a brilliant idea. Maybe you want to launch a youth initiative, something that could inspire others, build community, and at the same time, solve real problem. And it sounds exciting, but also overwhelming. You're not sure where to start or what step should come first, and it's completely normal to feel lost at the beginning. Believe me, I've been there too. When I failed the first time, I felt that same confusion. But when I decided to try again, I approached it differently. This time, I built a plan. And that's how US 25, the first digital youth parliament of Ukraine, was born. I didn't rush into action. I started with strategy. I took my big dream and broke it into small, doable, daily steps. Researching problems and people faced, gathering volunteers, defining our mission and future vision. And within months, what began as a tiny idea grew into a community of 80 young changemakers shaping the future of civic engagement in Ukraine. So if you want to start your own initiative, here's how the steps can guide you starting today. Step number 1, define your goal clearly. Don't just say, I want to help youth. Say, I want to create a youth initiative that will teach digital skills to 50 teenagers in my community. When I started US 25, my goal was simple and specific. Create a digital space where young people could influence national dialogue. Step number 2, break it down. Instead of thinking, I need to build an initiative, think, who do I want to reach? What is the first activity I can start with? Or what tools do I need for that? Big dreams become possible when you divide them into small, daily actions. Step number 3, plan before you act. Before launching anything, ask yourself, what do I need? Maybe a small team of 3 volunteers. Who can help me? A teacher, a mentor, or a friend who's good at design. This is exactly how I started. One small team, one clear mission, and one shared plan. Step number 4, adapt. Don't quit. Your first idea will not be a final idea, and that's good. Every setback shows you what to fix. Failure isn't a wall. It's a compass pointing you in a better direction. And step number 5, finally, track your growth. Celebrate every win. Your first volunteer, your first event, your first meeting. Those small victories keep your dream alive and moving. Strategy doesn't kill the excitement. It turns your dream into a direction. Success isn't about luck or endless motivation. It's about preparation, consistency, and purpose. So next time your dreams feel too big or too far away, remember this. Sun Tzu once said, tactics without strategy is a noise before defeat. But with a plan, with determination and direction, even the loudest chaos can turn into a powerful symphony of success.